There's a reason so many consumers are willing to spend their hard-earned money on an annual membership fee to Sam's Club. The warehouse chain has some amazing deals on great products. But whether you're a member or thinking about becoming one, there's a few things you should know about Sam's Club. In January 2018, Wal-Mart announced that they would be closing 63 Sam's Club stores nationwide and turning them into fulfillment centers for online orders.
So the store actually's gone out of business?
Really?
And they didn't say nothing? It wasn't even on the news?
According to CBS News, CEO John Furner said, "We know this is difficult news for our associates, and we are working to place as many of them as possible at nearby locations." A controversy erupted over the thousands of employees that had been unceremoniously laid off. The announcement came on the exact same day that Walmart announced it would be raising its minimum wage to $11 per hour.
I'm going back home now. I see that they're closed. Without any kind of warning or notice or anything. They could at least let us know.
According to the Washington Examiner, the company had also announced that they would be giving employees up to $1,000 in bonuses because of new tax cuts. Business Insider reported that most of the laid-off employees weren't even aware of what was happening until they showed up for work that day. Some learned of the store closings because of signs on the locked doors. Clearly, a lot of people felt the store closings were handled poorly, and it's hard to disagree.
This store is closed?
Permanently closed. The whole store.
Oh my gosh.
A former transgender employee claims her coworkers and managers harassed her over her gender identity.
In 2017, Sam's Club was sued for discriminating against a transgender employee, and the case attracted a lot of attention. According to the Chicago Tribune, Charlene Boss claimed her coworkers had been calling her names like it and thing. Boss said she was repeatedly harassed by her direct supervisor, who reportedly called her it in front of other employees and took part in unwanted physical contact, along with writing fake infractions against Boss that led to her being fired. Boss asked for unspecified monetary damages and wanted the court to order Sam's Club to train employees in order to prevent future harassment of other transgender employees. In 2015, former Sam's Club CEO Rosalind Brewer, the first woman and first African American to lead a division within Wal-Mart, came under fire for comments that some perceived as prejudiced against white men, if you can believe it. In a 2015 interview with CNN, Brewer discussed the diversity of her team.
Even with myself, I have to live it also. My executive team is very diverse, and I make that a priority.
Brewer added that diversity, or lack thereof, was something she often had to discuss with her suppliers.
Just today we met with a supplier, and the entire other side of the table was all Caucasian male. That was interesting.
She added that she didn't want to talk at that meeting since there were no females present, and claimed that she was, quote, going to place a call to the supplier about it. Her comments immediately received an outlandish backlash on social media, with people obnoxiously calling Brewer racist and using the hashtag #BoycottRacistSamsClub to rally supporters. Meanwhile, plenty of people were disgusted by the campaign. In a statement, Walmart president and CEO Doug McMillon fully supported Brewer. Roz was simply trying to reiterate that we believe diverse and inclusive teams make for a stronger business. That's all there is to it. Like most warehouse stores, Sam's Club is known for selling brand name items at significantly lower prices than the competition.
You can see 3/4 of our incremental sales already this year have come from those new Better For You items. You're going to love that product. Thanks. You bet. And I tell you what,
But as it turns out, they reportedly haven't always had permission to sell the goods they advertise. One example is when the bicycle company Trek publicly expressed their shock at its bikes being sold at the warehouse. In 2016, Sam's Club listed some men's and women's Trek mountain bikes on its website. The bikes were only available online for $100 less than the prices on Trek's official website. A Trek spokesman told Brain that Sam's Club, quote, did not acquire them from Trek directly, and said they were investigating how the warehouse club had gotten the bikes. He added, Trek has no plans to sell bikes at Sam's Club or any other big box retailer. There was a similar issue with designer brand Fendi in 2006. CNN Money reports that the brand sued Sam's Club for selling knockoff handbags, wallets, and keychains at its stores, writing that Walmart does not have a purchasing agreement with Fendi or anyone affiliated with the company. The bags were being sold at significantly discounted prices, as low as $295 in some cases. Meanwhile, Fendi claimed that the original version would retail for $925. A spokesman defended Walmart in a statement, writing, "The company policy prohibits the retailer from selling knockoffs." Sam's Club stores each feature a sprawling pharmacy section, which has proven to be quite convenient for shoppers. But in 2018, the company got in some trouble with Medicaid. According to a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Minnesota, there was a complaint that both Wal-Mart and Sam's Club pharmacies regularly enrolled medical assistance beneficiaries in the company's auto refill program and then billed Medicaid for prescriptions. This was a violation of state rules and regulations, as Minnesota doesn't allow pharmacies to automatically refill prescriptions paid for by the state's Medicaid program without an explicit request from the beneficiary. Allegedly, employees at the pharmacy were the first people to report this violation to the company managers, but even after they did, Wal-Mart and Sam's Club kept automatically refilling prescriptions. In the end, Wal-Mart Stores Inc. and Sam's West Inc. agreed to pay a total of $825,000 to resolve false claims violations. The way that Sam's Club treats employees has reportedly stirred up quite a bit of controversy over the years, as evidenced by two separate lawsuits. In 2002, the New York Times reported a class action lawsuit, as well as individual lawsuits against Wal-Mart and Sam's Clubs across 28 states. The controversy stemmed from the company allegedly refusing to pay employees for work they performed off the clock. One former employee, Verrett Richardson, claimed that she sometimes worked for up to 3 hours without getting paid, saying, "They wanted us to do a lot of work for no pay. A company that makes billions of dollars doesn't have to do that." In response, a Walmart spokesperson said, "Off-the-clock work is an infrequent and isolated problem, which we correct whenever we become aware of it." Unfortunately, there have been other similar lawsuits since then. According to NBC, a California jury awarded Walmart workers $172 million for illegally denied lunch breaks in 2006, while they settled a similar case in Colorado for $50 million. That same year, a judge approved a class action lawsuit against Wal-Mart Stores Inc. by employees in Pennsylvania who said they were pressured to work off the clock. And in 2018, Class Action reported a lawsuit against Wal-Mart and Sam's Club that claimed, "Employees have ended up performing pre- and post-shift off-the-clock work without being paid commensurate wages, including time-and-a-half overtime pay."
Want some cookies to go with that milk? Sam's Club charges $19.98 for a 5-pound tub of chocolate chip bakery cookies. Costco charges $15.55.
The allure of shopping at a place like Sam's Club isn't just buying food in bulk, it's mainly about saving money on necessary household items. But the value of the products that Sam's Club sells has raised a lot of questions. A 2016 Fox Business report claimed that you might not be saving quite as much as you think with your trusty Sam's Club membership. The report points out that prices are indeed lower at a place like Sam's Club when compared to a store like BJ's or traditional grocery stores. But Michael Clayman, editor and writer at Warehouse Club Focus, told The Motley Fool that the results of price reporting show the dramatic savings a consumer receives by shopping at a club compared to the other two. But here's the thing, it's not just about price. Billy Blair, an organizational psychologist and CEO of Change Strategists Inc., pointed out the added cost of what he calls wastage from overbuying, noting, "Warehouse clubs almost never save money for the individual shopper. Basically, if you're habitually throwing away food because you bought too much of it, plus paying an annual fee, you probably aren't really saving anything. Sure, if you shop smart by buying only what you need and will use, then you have the potential to save. Otherwise, you're more or less out of luck." It may have been proven that prices at Sam's Club are on the lower end of the spectrum when it comes to other big box retailers and grocery stores, but that doesn't mean that everything is a great buy. Experts told MarketWatch that some items like car parts, medication, and alcohol are almost always a good deal, but plenty of other items aren't worth buying in bulk.
Your credit card called. They want to make sure you're the one buying cream soda in bulk.
I sure am.
According to experts, books, CDs, and DVDs can be found cheaper on Amazon. John Lau, CEO and founder of Be Frugal, said to avoid buying food perishables, such as condiments like mayo. That's because those bulk items will probably go bad since there's really no way to consume them in time, no matter how much you pour into your dinner.
Let's just let this kind of all come together, bind together. That's the sort of the virtue of mayonnaise.
Aaron Conrad, a spokesperson for Coupon Pal, said that diapers can be found cheaper at places like Target and Amazon.
Well, we get new diapers. Easy on the lumbar there, sport.
Matthew Ong, the retail analyst for NerdWallet, told MarketWatch that laundry detergent in bulk can lose its efficacy quickly, meaning you'll probably waste money because you won't be able to use all the detergent in time. Lastly, Conrad and Ong agreed that paper goods like toilet paper and tissues can be found cheaper at Target or grocery stores with coupons. One of Sam's Club's biggest competitors is Costco, another big box retailer known for great prices and for treating its employees very well. Costco has been praised for excellent wages and benefits, and it seems that Sam's Club simply can't compare. In 2008, Slate reported that Sam's Club employees made a starting wage of $10 an hour and made $12.50 after 4.5 years. Meanwhile, a new Costco employee started at $11 an hour, made $19.50 per hour after working there for 4.5 years, and received a bonus of over $2,000 every 6 months. There are a few reasons for this. According to Slate, Costco sells pricier items than Wal-Mart and Sam's Club. Costco employees can also be members of the Teamsters Union, but not Wal-Mart employees. So why doesn't Sam's Club offer the same wages? Tim Worstall at Forbes believes it may do more harm than good. About 700,000 people would lose their jobs at Wal-Mart, which is, I think you'll agree, a fairly large result. In 2014, Sam's Club was slapped with a class action lawsuit over its freshness guarantee. A South Carolina customer claimed that Sam's Club had repeatedly violated the language of that promise, which said customers were entitled to a 200% money-back guarantee on all fresh meat, seafood, bakery, and produce. Non-members receive 100% money-back guarantee. The disgruntled customer claimed that she'd returned a significant amount of, quote, fresh meat, bakery, and produce items over the years. She insisted that she'd never been refunded more than the purchase price of an item, nor was she offered the return purchase plus a replacement product. The lawsuit claimed Sam's has failed to honor the 200% freshness guarantee for many thousands, if not millions, of its members. According to Top Class Actions, the class action settlement resolved this claim in 2018, along with a similar but separate case filed in California, with Sam's Club offering a $6 million settlement fund.
These hacks make shopping at Sam's Club a no-brainer. You'll learn the ins and outs of the store so you can always find the best deals, whether that means decoding the price tag or using the technology at your disposal to make shopping a breeze. No one likes to dilly-dally, but even after you've spent an hour combing through the aisles for your bulk mac and cheese and flats of granola, you face a challenge: waiting in line. Sometimes it feels like you spend more time waiting in line than you do shopping. Sam's Club knows this, and they know just how annoying it can be. That's why they created an app called Scan & Go that helps shoppers purchase everything they need without having to bother with those pesky long lines. All you have to do to use the app is download it to your phone, then head to the store. Scan items you want to purchase with the app, then pay right on your phone. An employee at the exit will check your e-receipt as you head out the door to confirm you've paid, and then you're free to go on your way, all without having to bother with the waiting, unloading, and loading your cart at the checkout line. It turns out that while you shop, you can get your car worked on too. You can get tires installed for $15 each, but the benefits you get after they're installed are what make the deal worth it. You'll benefit from complimentary tire balancing, rotation, tire pressure monitoring, and flat repair for the life of the tire. You'll also be a beneficiary of 3 years of emergency roadside tire service and will gain an extended warranty on your tires that covers road hazards like punctures, cuts, and impact brakes, which usually aren't covered under the original manufacturer's warranty. You'll drive out of Sam's Club with a car full of groceries and peace of mind, knowing that your tires are taken care of for a few more years. Sometimes looking for low-ticket prices on the shelf isn't enough when you're searching for the best deals in town. Even marked-down items can be reduced further. So how do you know you're getting the best deal now and that you shouldn't wait? At Sam's Club, there's a code on each price tag that can give you a clue. You'll see the letters N, A, or C. N stands for never out, and these items are the least likely to go on sale since they're always in stock. A stands for active, which means they still have plenty in stock, but the price is likely to be reduced in the future. For the best deals, look for tags labeled with a C. The C stands for canceled, meaning the item isn't going to be restocked, and they're trying to get rid of it all to free up shelf space. Don't wait, as if you miss it, it's not coming back. Another clue that you're getting the best deal? Check for items that are priced ending in 1 penny, like $1.91. This means the item isn't just on sale, but that it's a clearance item. We love shopping warehouse clubs for the huge savings, but the actual experience of being in the store can be a nightmare. Thankfully, at Sam's Club, you can avoid the madness with a benefit that comes with basic membership. They've initiated an in-store pickup program that allows you to place your order online and then pick it up in the store, ready to go the next day. Not only is it easier to find what you need using the internet search tool instead of just winging it in the store, but it's also easier to spot great deals. You'll end up saving big both cash-wise and time-wise, something that's honestly priceless when you're busy and on a budget. Depending on your location, Sam's Club Pharmacy offers health screenings to check for high blood pressure, cholesterol levels, vision, and hearing. They also sell glasses, hearing equipment, and have a full pharmacy. So if there's anything you need after your screening, you're able to get it right in store. Here's where you might want to start looking into a Sam's Club Plus membership. Some medications are outright free, although this varies by state. If you take several medications each month, you'll get 200 different prescriptions for just $4 and 400 others for $10 and some other generic drugs for free. You can also get many of your pet's medications there too for a fraction of the price you might pay elsewhere. They have around 200 different medications for our furry friends, and that makes it easier to keep everyone healthy. Waking up at the crack of dawn to get your shopping done is usually a futile exercise. After all, what's to stop literally everyone else from joining you in your attempt to shop crowd-free? Well, Sam's Club has a solution in the form of an additional perk for its Plus members. For just $55 a year more than a basic $45 membership, Plus members have exclusive early access to the store. From 7 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, Plus cardholders can get their shopping done without having to worry about being hassled by the crowds. A benefit that's almost worth the price of admission all by itself.
If you're a fan of buying things in bulk, you're probably familiar with Sam's Club. The Walmart-owned store boasts savings for its members and includes some pretty great perks. But is this club and its membership fee really worth joining? Here's a look at the untold truth of Sam's Club. Deal or no deal? Most people go to Sam's Club to save money, but whether or not you actually save money depends on what you're buying and how you buy it. According to the finance website Go Banking Rates, for instance, meat and fresh produce are usually available at a cheaper rate from your local grocery store. A bigger issue is those gigantic bulk deals. Sure, you theoretically save money, but only if you actually manage to use all that food before it goes bad. Shopping analyst Benjamin Glazer told Fox Business the average family of four wastes about $1,800 a year throwing away food, including groceries that spoil before you eat them. Plus, according to Brian Wansink, professor of consumer behavior at Cornell University, once you pay that membership fee, you're likely to buy more stuff in order to justify it. If you've ever gone into Sam's Club looking for toilet paper and come out with a new Fitbit instead because it was on sale, that's justification mentality at work. And this psychological phenomenon is what Sam's Club counts on in order to make money. So even though Sam's Club prices are 33% lower than most supermarket chains, you still may end up spending more money there if you're not careful. Breaking the code. Believe it or not, the price tags at Sam's Club allegedly contain secret codes that can help you determine whether or not to buy something. According to Kyle James of RatherBeShopping.com, a price ending in 1 means it's a sale price, but it's the letter on the top right of the shelf tag that you really need to pay attention to. If it's an A or an N, that means it's something they always carry and always try to have in stock. An S means it's a seasonal item and might only be there for a short time, while a C means it's a canceled item they're going to get rid of, so it might go on clearance. But it's the O you really need to watch out for. That means it's a one-time buy, so once it's gone, it's gone. Stock up on this one if you find something you like, because it's not coming back. Union busters. Walmart and Sam's Club have typically been against workers' unions and reportedly actively discourage employees from forming them. Leaked training materials show the tactics the company uses to squash any thoughts of unionizing. For example, when the meat department at a Texas Walmart unionized in 2000, Walmart responded by eliminating butchers entirely from 180 stores. And they have reason to worry that disgruntled employees might unionize. According to investment site The Motley Fool, Sam's Club provides worse benefits and lower pay than their biggest rival. In fact, Costco has cut down on the products they offer in order to keep their workers happy, while Sam's Club has cut corners by laying off employees.
Tonight, a state agency is trying to help Sam's Club employees who were laid off over the weekend. More than 11,000 workers from across the country were let go.
Members Mark. In 2016, Sam's Club gave their private brand, Members Mark, a complete makeover. Previously, the store had 21 separate private brands, which they combined into one in an attempt to standardize the line. They also announced plans to release hundreds of new products, while updating hundreds more, including regional offerings such as Members Mark all-natural pulled pork, made with guidance from the Kansas City Barbecue Society. Perhaps their most popular offering, however, is their Members Mark wine, which costs only $7 a bottle, but is reportedly pretty good. It's proven popular enough that Sam's Club announced plans to add other wines to their lineup, including Cabernet, Prosecco, and Champagne. Membership has its privileges. Besides being able to buy 50 gallons of ketchup at once, there are other perks to being a Sam's Club member you may not be aware of. For instance, small business owners can get legal advice and help with payroll services, and even purchase insurance through Sam's Club for their employees. Individual members can also get help with their taxes, and accounting services are available for both individuals and small businesses. If you're not a member, though, there are still things you can do at Sam's Club. Both the liquor section and the pharmacy are open to non-members, as is the food court. So if you're looking for a swinging place for a romantic night out, what better place than inside your local discount warehouse? The Sensory Lab. If you're wondering how Sam's decides which foods to sell, it turns out they have a group of up to 100 people who sample and rate different foods every single day. Called the Sensory Lab, this group of experts evaluated nearly 1,700 items in 2012. According to the Recipe Girl, foods are rated on a 9-point scale for things like taste and texture, and if the food doesn't score at least a 7, it doesn't make it onto the shelves. Samazon. You don't even have to get off the couch to get some seriously good deals from Sam's Club, since they actually have their own online auction site. All you need to do is bid from the comfort of your own home and cross your fingers that you win that pack of scented shower gel. Good luck. Big in China. Sam's Club is pretty popular in China. The country has several Sam's Club locations, including one of the company's top-selling locations, which is in Shenzhen. The store has become so influential that it's changed how its members shop. Instead of shopping for fresh food daily, as many people in China typically do, members are now stocking up in bulk and visiting the store less than once a week. Moss Club. Opening in Houston in 2009 as a test run, the Moss Club's main difference from other Sam's Club locations was that it carried more items targeted at the area's Latino community. By 2014, the company realized the community would be better served by simply expanding product offerings in their traditional Sam's Club locations, and Moss Club was closed for good. Trend followers. If you've noticed a difference in the food options you're seeing at Sam's Club, you're not imagining it. According to Fortune in 2016, Sam's Club went after Costco by taking aim at another portion of the market, higher-income customers who generally head to the competition. They did this by starting to carry trendier foods, by installing teams of regional buyers to select local, gourmet, organic, and natural foods, and opening more stores in more affluent areas. Look out, Trader Joe's. You're next. Is a Sam's Club membership worth it? Is it your best choice? Should you take the plunge, or will you regret the yearly fee? Here's what you need to know before you make the decision to fork over some cash for a Sam's Club membership. If you're not sure how often you're actually going to make it into the store to shop, you should know that there's another option available. Sam's Club does have a website, and you can shop there even if you're not a member. You'll have to sign up for a guest membership, which is essentially an account that's active for 24 hours and lets you order through the site. There is, of course, a catch. If you sign in with your guest membership instead of a regular membership, you're going to be paying a 10% service fee on everything you buy. Guest members also can't arrange to pick up their items at their local stores, so if you need something ASAP, you're out of luck. Which is best for you? Only you can decide. Before you head into Sam's Club and fork over some of your hard-earned cash for the right to shop in their store, you should definitely look around to see where else you can pick up a membership for the Warehouse Club. Surprisingly, there are a lot of great deals out there. For example, in March 2019, they announced a deal that let you download their Scan & Go app and use it to buy your basic membership for the standard $45. But then, if you went to the store and used the app to make purchases over $45, that amount was instantly deducted from your bill. That's basically a free membership. That deal was for a limited time, but Sam's Club runs similar deals frequently. Other special sign-up offers have included free gift cards and coupons off things like hot dogs, hamburgers, buns, and cookies. In other words, things you were probably going to buy anyway. Groupon regularly offers deals on memberships, and so does Living Social. If you're not in a hurry, it's worth checking around. You can absolutely score a free membership or some other great deals if you do. If you're mainly interested in the Sam's Club membership for the grocery items, there's something you should know. You can order from them through Instacart with or without a membership, and according to TechCrunch, you'll have your items on the same day or in as little as an hour. When is the last time any shopping trip took you an hour? Sam's Club first started their partnership with Instacart in Dallas, Fort Worth, St. Louis, and Austin before expanding to Los Angeles and San Diego. It was such a success, they announced they were going to expand into almost 1,000 zip codes and 350 Sam's Club locations. Instacart does charge for individual deliveries, unless you get a membership. According to the Grocery Dive, an annual membership, which gets you free deliveries, dropped to $99 at the end of 2018. But that membership fee means you can also use it for any of their more than 300 grocery partners, not just Sam's Club. It's another one of those things that you'll have to consider if you want to figure out whether or not it's worth it for you and your family. Medical bills and trips to the pharmacy can add up fast, and if anyone in your family needs prescriptions filled often, Sam's Club discounts might make a membership very worthwhile. Best of all, it's not just limited to the human members of your family. If you opt for the Sam's Club Plus membership for $100 a year, it includes the option to get certain free prescription drugs. There's also a list of more than 600 generic drugs that you'll be eligible to get at a cost of $10 or less. And there's some pretty extensive savings on brand name drugs too. And your furry family members can get their medication there too. Sam's Club pharmacies offer deals on everything from daily medication to preventatives like heartworm pills. And if you have more than one cat or dog, we all know how fast the cost of their meds adds up. Bottom line, getting that Sam's Club membership and getting your prescriptions there can potentially save you a ton of money. If you're thinking about getting a Sam's Club membership, you're also thinking about buying in bulk. That's where things get tricky. There are plenty of good deals to be had at Sam's Club, things like pasta, snacks, and candy, but there are a lot of pitfalls too. Things like canned goods and soda are going to be cheaper elsewhere, and other things are bound to go bad before you use them. Did you know that sunscreen is only effective for about a year after you buy it? If you bought a 4-pack 3 years ago, that stuff you're slathering on your skin isn't actually helping. And other skincare products like face cream only keep their maximum effectiveness for between 3 and 6 months. Cheat Sheet says there are other sneaky problems too. Detergents, fabric softener, and cleaning products will only be good for between 6 months and a year after they're opened. So if buying in bulk is your goal, take a look at how much of these items you go through in your household. In some cases, you might be surprised to realize it's not worth it. In 2017, Supermarket News reported on what was the last phase of a Sam's Club overhaul. Previously, they had carried private label products under a whopping 21 different names, and all those products were getting consolidated into one, Member's Mark. And it was a huge deal. At the same time, they added around 300 new products and stressed that each and every Member's Mark item had something like an ingredient or recipe that made it different from anything else on the market.
Let me show you how to do it. Right here we have our corned beef, Member's Mark, of course.
And that means that if you're not taking Sam's Club private label brands into consideration when you're trying to decide whether or not you want a membership, you're overlooking something big. The Kitchen says there are a ton of great products on sale under the Member's Mark name, and not all of them are food. There are things like frying pans, storage containers, and plastic plates, and there are also, of course, things like their private label snacks, frozen foods, and everything you'll need to throw a killer party. And since you can't get these exact items anywhere else, well, that just means getting that Sam's Club membership has a big benefit. Part of the fun of going to Sam's Club is looking through that middle section to see what's shown up there. You know this section, it's where all the latest and greatest books, movies, and video games are, the clothes, and all the seasonal goodies you'll find in your cart before you even know what happened. Sam's Club has something even better than that, auctions. That's right, Sam's Club auctions off a number of closeout items on their website, and you have the chance to get them at ridiculously cheap prices. You don't even have to sit at your computer to watch the clock tick down. Just enter a proxy bid of how much you're willing to spend, and if the auction ends with the item at a lower price than what you bid, you'll automatically win with a bid that's $1 higher than the last person. But in order to take advantage of this one, you'll need both a membership and an approved credit card on file with Sam's Club. What's the worst thing about shopping? If you said the people and the crowds, you would be correct. If you agree, here's some food for thought. Opt for the more expensive Sam's Club membership option, and you'll be able to get in, do your shopping, and get out in the hours before all the other card-holding members show up. Many locations open at 7 a.m. for their Plus members, and that just might be worth it, right? That's not the only perk you'll get if you go this way. You'll also get cashback rewards, free shipping, better deals at the pharmacy, and discounts on eyeglasses. That is, of course, all in addition to all the benefits of a regular membership, and whether or not it's worth it depends on you, your family, and whether or not you're willing to get up that early. In 2018, a whole bunch of Sam's Club members were shocked when they showed up at their neighborhood store to find it closed. There were a lot of reasons for the business decision, but one of the things that didn't sit well with a lot of people was the fact that they hadn't given anyone, not even their now unemployed employees, a heads up.
Yeah, nationwide, Lynn, 63 Sam's Club stores closed today or will close in the coming weeks.
That's right. Around 63 stores ended up closing, and it was a sign that there were changes to come. Among them was a shift to target more higher-income families, move away from catering to small businesses, turn some of those locations into online fulfillment centers, and overhaul their grocery business. Depending on where you live and what you're looking for in a warehouse store, this could be either good news or bad news. And in some cases, it might have made your decision for you. Most of the stores that were closed were ones within 10 miles of a Costco because that was just some serious competition they didn't want to deal with. Speaking of Costco, are you missing out if you opt for Sam's Club instead? Fortunately, comparisons have been done. Cheapism took a close look at the two and found that while Sam's Club had more payment options, Costco had slightly better prices. They also noted that Sam's Club has self-checkout lanes and a free pickup service, also a bonus there. And what do actual customers have to say? According to the American Customer Satisfaction Index, Costco has an overall satisfaction rate of 83%. Sam's Club is below them, but just barely, with their 80% satisfaction rating. When it comes down to it, it's all about what services you're going to use most, which private label brands you like best, and what's closer to you. So, you still haven't decided if Sam's Club is right for you, and that's all right. Sometimes it's tough to tell just how useful a store is going to be, and let's be honest here, there's just something weird about paying for the privilege of shopping at a store. It's kind of like paying for the privilege of going to someone's house, cooking for them, and then doing the dishes. It's weird. Here's the good news. Getting a membership is actually so low risk, you could call it no risk. Sift through the terms and conditions of Sam's Club and their membership program, and you'll find that they have a 100% satisfaction guarantee on membership. That means that if you decide at any time during the year you're not happy with your membership, you can cancel for a refund. Don't believe it? They say precisely, we'll refund in full the actual amount you paid for your current annual membership at any time during the membership year if you aren't satisfied. So there you have it. Go ahead and give that membership a try. You might just find a ton of stuff at crazy cheap prices and a whole bunch of stuff you didn't even know you needed. Given that it's a discount store, Sam's Club may not be the place you think of for top-shelf cuisine, but the chain has some great finds on the shelves. Here are the Sam's Club food items you absolutely need to try before you die. When Sam's Club launched the Members Mark Southern Spicy Style Chicken Sandwich in 2020, the internet pretty much lost its mind. Available in the frozen section, a chicken breast fillet is coated in dill pickle-infused breading that is brought to the next level with a bit of cayenne. Customers swear that these taste just like their beloved Chick-fil-A sandwich. Lucky for us, it's about half the price of pulling up to the drive-thru and a whole lot less frustrating than waiting in a long line. The package comes with 10 fully cooked sandwiches that are ready to heat and eat. It's Sunday and you're nursing a wicked hangover. A Sam's exclusive Members Mark Southern-style waffle fries are good on their own or paired with the line spicy chicken sandwich. After just minutes in the air fryer, you'll swear these are the real deal. Each 4-pound bag makes about 21 servings, so you won't soon be going hungry. In 2018, Sam's Club debuted the Members Mark Southern-style chicken bites, and to say this created a wave of frenzy would be an understatement. These frozen, lightly breaded chicken bites have us swearing they are the real deal. Available in a generous 3-pound bag, each bite features 100% white meat chicken that is coated in a crunchy breading infused with just a hint of dill pickle. If you're looking to get your fix while on the go, their Sam's Club Cafe also cooks up ready-to-enjoy orders. Sam's Club Cafe is dishing out some pretty legit pizza offerings, including their 4-meat pizza. While we're a fan of all of their pizza varieties, this version won us over and combines pepperoni, Italian sausage, ham, and bacon. Each of the meats are full of flavor in their own right, but work harmoniously together for an explosion of flavor, only made even better by the generous portion of cheese. You probably have your list of staples that you pick up on every visit to Sam's Club. Eggs, milk, cheese, and fresh produce are just a few items, but if this one isn't on your list, you'll thank us later.
What is it?
Cheesecake. What kind? Chocolate.
Oh, I think this could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
If you grab one dessert from Sam's Club, make it their Members Mark Cheesecake Miniatures. This restaurant-quality dessert comes in a variety pack featuring strawberry swirl cheesecake on a yummy graham cracker crust, a positively sinful caramel chocolate chip cheesecake on a chocolate cookie crust, and an unapologetically straightforward traditional New York-style cheesecake so good it can hold its own up to all the others. We're not going to lie, Sam's Club's bread and bakery items are totally delish. As the wonderful aromas of freshly baked goods waft past you, it could prove to be quite the challenge to escape without a cart full of these treats. Keep your eye on the prize, because you should be grabbing the Members Mark all-butter sandwich croissants. Available in a pack of 12 for less than $5, they seriously up your lunch game. Few can resist the allure of a churro, a staple of any visit to a theme park or county fairs. These desserts are generously coated in cinnamon and offer the perfect crunchy exterior with a softer cake-like interior. Sam's Club Cafe has pretty much nailed this signature dessert. No theme park ticket or Sam's Club membership required. Clocking in at a whopping 1.5 feet long, these double-twisted portable sticks of sweetness are a bargain any day of the week. Members Mark's soft sea salt caramels are handcrafted with real Madagascar vanilla, have stood the test of time, and for good reason. Salty meets sweet in this ultimate confectionery mashup that is wonderfully rich and buttery. They make the perfect dessert or an easy-to-grab mid-afternoon pick-me-up for less than $10. When Sam's Club reinvented their in-store brand, they set out to rise above their competition. They accomplished this by placing the focus on well-produced products that would have the average consumer rethinking the notion of store brand. Premium products debuted and the new lineup launched with Italian-sourced olive oil and other handcrafted items, including Members Mark Clover Honey. Working with a bee cooperative, this new product was the result of their partnership with hundreds of independent beekeepers. This exclusive product receives rave reviews from customers who note its wonderful taste and versatility. There's plenty of solid early morning starters to grab from Sam's Club, like their buttery croissants, cereal, and granola, but we're always going to go for the Members Mark Cinnamon French Toast Sticks. With a stellar rating on the Sam's Club website, these babies are a satisfying way to get your day going, with a nice kick of sugar and cinnamon. Charcuterie and cheese boards have been all the rage these last few years. If you're looking to step up your entertaining game, Sam's Club is a one-stop shop to design the board of your dreams with quality meats and cheeses. Our cheese of choice here is their Members Mark Chèvre Fresh Goat Cheese Log. Made using American goat milk, the flavor is creamy with a bit of a punch, and it offers a gentle firmness that gives way to a crumbly texture. So, you've been to Napa a few times and all of a sudden your taste is elevated. We get it, but just hear us out on this one. Sam's Club upped its game in the liquor department, and their Members Mark line is nothing to turn your nose up over. Specifically, the Members Mark Sangria. Crafted in Spain, this fruit-forward concoction is an incredible bargain at less than $7 per bottle. Grab some fresh fruit from their produce section to slice up, and now it's a party. You're going to have to break out your stretchy pants to prepare for this next one. The Edwards brand has been around since 1950, dazzling us with their ready-to-enjoy pies. The Edwards Hershey's Chocolate Cream Pie is a top-rated seller, and we can't argue with that. Available from Sam's Club, their signature chocolate cookie pie crust is made from freshly baked cookies that are taken out of the oven and immediately crushed to ensure the pie shell is as fresh as possible.
Don't worry, lady, I'll have you cleaned off in a minute.
The crust is then layered with a vanilla and chocolate filling. It's topped with whipped cream, Hershey's signature chocolate kisses, and a generous drizzle of chocolate. Sold frozen, it can be enjoyed by the slice or in its entirety. It's noted for its well-balanced flavor and light and airy texture. When deciding what to bring to your next get-together, a dip is usually a safe bet. Win over the crowds with Members Mark Buffalo-style chicken dip. The 28-ounce tub, which retails for under $10, is made from premium cheese, spicy cayenne, and juicy chunks of white meat chicken. It's everything you love about chicken wings, with the added convenience of being able to easily scoop it up. There's a good amount of spice found here, and the dip can be served cold or hot. If you love the flavor of hot sauce, you're going to love this one. If any vegetable has had a moment this last decade, it would be cauliflower. Seemingly overnight, every carb-loaded item you loved was transformed in a diet-friendly, low-carb version with no pizza or pasta spared. There are an overwhelming amount of passable versions, but we are loving the tattooed chef cauliflower mac and cheese. Without the sogginess found in other cauliflower pasta varieties, this starch-free dish is loaded with a cheddar cheese blend and even packed with protein. Grab this on your next Sam's Club run if you're looking for a ton of flavor that won't leave you feeling weighed down. Friends bring happiness into our lives, but best friends bring wine. If you're headed over to a buddy's place, you'll likely be picking something up on the way to present to your host. Sam's Club has their own Members Mark Chardonnay, part of their private label line, and it's shockingly good, and considering the fact that it's about $8, worthy of adding to your regular rotation. With the fruit-forward flavor you'd expect from a good Chardonnay, this one is produced in Sonoma County, the top-growing region for the white wine variety. Color us impressed. This over-the-top creation from the folks at Sam's Club is also on brand with millennials' affinity for the mythical creature. We're talking about the trendy unicorn. Sam's Club jumped on board with the trend in their Members Mark tiered unicorn cake. It's any rainbow lover's dream and available made to order from the warehouse's on-site bakery. With multicolored, glistening sprinkle layers, the entire cake is topped with, what else? A golden unicorn horn. The most shocking thing about this Insta-worthy creation is that it's less than $70 for a cake that will serve over 60 people. The Kentucky Woods Bourbon Barrel Cake is truly the reason the phrase "to die for" was created. Available seasonally, usually around the holidays, this one can be found at Sam's Club and even its rival Costco. The base is made from a yellow and chocolate cake mix that is combined to create an almost marbled effect. It's not just any old cake mix. This mix is infused with bourbon extract, resulting in a really unique flavor with notes of maple and brown sugar shining through. It's topped off with a caramel drizzle and some walnuts. You'll have to enjoy the taste of bourbon as it is ever present, but it results in the most moist cake you've ever tried. The rotisserie chicken is usually a hot ticket item on any trip to a warehouse retailer. While Costco does a standout version, Sam's Club also offers a delicious bird. The Members Mark seasoned rotisserie chicken is made fresh daily on site. It's roasted to a golden brown and features a unique marinade, giving way to tender meat and wonderful flavor, thanks to their use of Laurie's seasonings. Delicious on its own, it also works well shredded in salads, pasta, and even enchiladas. For less than $5, it's tender, full of flavor, and everything you'd want from a rotisserie chicken. Did you know that every Sam's Club is proud to have an on-site butcher? That's pretty legit. Since 2019, these butchers have been preparing USDA prime beef, trimmed and ready for the consumer. If you're not familiar, USDA prime is the highest grade given for beef, pretty much guaranteeing you're going to get a knockout product. The price can't be beat for their mouth-watering selection of ribeye steaks, strips, sirloin, and even tenderloin. The on-site butcher is also available on hand to answer any questions you may have. The only thing we love more than snacks are individually wrapped snacks. Noni's almond chocolate biscotti is a win-win and an absolute pantry must. You can satisfy your sweet tooth without going overboard and eating the entire container. This artisan product will seriously one-up your cookie game. Perfect on its own or dunked into a cup of coffee, the biscotti is topped with almonds and then dipped in chocolate. It's an all-around quality product at an affordable price point, with a jar of 24 cookies setting you back just shy of $10. As the low-carb trend is still in full force, one snack has risen to the top of every must-have list for the keto follower. Parmesan crisps are a yummy snack on their own or a quick way to elevate any sad lunch salad. While there's now an endless sea of companies out there producing them, Sam's Club's version takes the cake. Members Mark Parmesan Crisps takes 100% aged Parmesan and oven bakes it to crispy perfection. Naturally gluten-free, this protein-filled snack also offers a surprising 30% of your daily recommended calcium. Are you really living if you don't have a 5-pound barrel of animal crackers stocked in your kitchen at all times? We think not. Members Mark animal crackers are a beloved Sam's Club treat for the young and young at heart. They also have the added bonus of being low in fat with 0 grams trans fat. So basically, it's a healthy snack option. Full of flavor, each jar features 11 different adorable little animal shapes.
Whether you're thinking of applying for a job at Sam's Club or you're just curious about what it's like to work there, we have the answers. Here's a look at what former and current employees are saying about what it's like to work at Sam's Club. When it comes to Sam's Club, most employees never know what kind of work they'll be doing from one minute to the next. According to a lengthy post from an alleged Sam's Club worker on Reddit, there are several different managers at Sam's Club on duty at one time, and they often all assign different tasks to the same worker in the same time frame, causing a lot of stress and confusion.
Wasn't enough. I blew it.
In fact, the poster lovingly referred to the resulting chaos as a garbage fire. Other employees from other store locations vouched for the truth of the post. They say employees are often given assignments in departments they're not used to working in and often resort to taking sick days just to get a break from the madness. Multiple threads for Sam's Club employees on Reddit mention that one of the biggest challenges of working at Sam's Club is understaffing. If you've ever been to a Sam's Club, you know these stores are massive, and workers often find themselves handling an entire huge department by themselves. Many of the stores are already understaffed, so when someone goes on vacation or calls in sick, chaos ensues. Several workers complain that they're doing the work of 10 people and only getting paid for one, thanks to all the call-ins and general lack of employees. A new system has been put in place by management to cut down on the amount of sick and personal days workers take. But for some, this only serves to add more stress, since the ones who truly need a break can't take a mental health day if needed. If there's one thing workers should never have to stand for, it's not being paid for their work. Unfortunately, though, this seems to be almost common practice at Sam's Club and its parent company of Wal-Mart, as over the years, many workers have reported that they've been made to work overtime with no pay. A 2002 article in the New York Times described how workers in both stores in multiple states were often asked to stay past quitting time to help clean up the store, sometimes even locked in by managers after they had clocked out and not allowed to leave until the store was spick and span. This type of treatment has resulted in several large class action lawsuits against the Wal-Mart Corporation in recent years, including one in California that involved workers being denied lunch breaks, and one in Pennsylvania in which workers were forced to work up to 12 hours of unpaid overtime per month. You know that you found yourself in a toxic work environment if you almost always feel mentally and physically drained at the end of the day.
Stop crying.
Sadly, many Sam's Club workers feel this way about their job, according to threads on Reddit. Many employees feel as if they're asked to do too much and that they're being pulled in too many different directions at the same time. They also feel like they're just not being heard by their bosses if they try to discuss the issue. Several Sam's Club workers have had to use sick days just to get a mental break from the place, and others say they're considering quitting after only a few months, explaining that no matter how badly they could use the money, dealing with the work environment is just not worth it. An alarming amount of alleged Sam's Club workers on Reddit report that working at Sam's Club has either activated an anxiety disorder or made an existing problem worse. One even said, "The whole company is a dumpster fire of depression and dysfunction." One of the biggest complaints from current and former Sam's Club employees on Indeed is that the managers are unreliable and at times even cruel. One alleged merchandising floor team leader at Sam's Club says the manager plays favorites, giving better shifts to certain workers and generally just being nicer to some people than others, a claim that's backed up by other similar reviews. The most common complaint about Sam's Club managers, though, is that they just plain don't listen to their employees. Many workers say they feel their managers simply don't care about them, which doesn't create a lot of trust in the workplace. To make things even worse, some posters claim managers won't accept sick notes from doctors, resulting in workers getting punished or possibly even fired for being ill. In spite of all the negative factors past employees have exposed, working at Sam's Club apparently isn't all that bad. In fact, there are a few perks here and there worth mentioning, like the free turkeys handed out in November so that workers can have one for Thanksgiving dinner. According to a recent conversation on Reddit, this is a fairly new tradition, and some suspect that it is a way to keep morale up in this busy holiday time of year. The thread was initially started after the end of a one-day sale to congratulate all the workers who made it through what turned out to be a 12-hour shift for some. If those people don't deserve a free turkey, who does?
Between membership fees and all the common mistakes people make when shopping at Sam's Club, warehouse clubs don't always save consumers money over time. But if you are hip to these missteps, you can certainly make membership worthwhile and end up coming out on top financially. The single biggest mistake people make while shopping at Sam's Club is blindly assuming everything there is cheaper. It's not. And if you pick up items that cost more than they do elsewhere, it potentially can cancel out all of your savings on other items. For example, according to Kiplinger, at Sam's Club you typically pay more for certain things like name brand cereal or diapers, to name a few. Also consider sales and coupons. Sam's Club does not accept any manufacturer or competitor coupons, making them even cheaper when they're bought at grocery stores, big box stores, or Amazon. You might not think of the floor of Sam's Club as the front lines of a raging psychological war, but it is. The Sam's Club masterminds have cleverly pitted you against yourself. Why did you pay $45 for a year's membership? You bought the opportunity to save money. So it's in your head that you have to earn that money back in savings so you're not a sucker. Therein lies the trap. You spend more to save more. This phenomenon gets uglier if you spring for the Plus membership. You have more upfront expenditure to make up, plus you earn 2% cash back on qualifying purchases. This reward makes it even more tempting to get a bunch of stuff you wouldn't otherwise buy. Buying something cheaper isn't necessarily the same as spending less money. Since package sizes aren't the same, to make fair price comparisons between Sam's Club and another store, you look at cost by standardized units. At warehouse clubs, you can only buy large packages of most goods. If you use it all, you successfully save some cash. But if not, you wasted money. This means some products aren't smart purchases at Sam's Club, especially those with quickly approaching expiration dates. Think twice about buying massive containers of anything, because if you throw something away before it's used, you're wasting money, no matter how little you paid for it. Of course, not everything necessarily needs to be used before its expiration date. In fact, if you're not buying medicine from Sam's Club because of the expiration date, you're making a huge mistake. We're talking about over-the-counter drugs, sold in gargantuan quantities and representing some of the best opportunities for savings at Sam's Club.
Do you have multi-packs in France?
I don't think we take so much medication in France like you do.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
The issue is that expiration dates on medicine are usually just arbitrary dates ranging anywhere from 1 to 5 years after production, included simply because they're required by law. In fact, about 90% of common medications remain safe and effective even 15 years after their expiration date, though this doesn't always apply to prescriptions. Most mistakes we cover here relate to money, but let's take a minute to talk about something that's almost as important as money: your health. So many of the offerings at Sam's Club are giant packages of ultra-processed foods, which are usually high in undesirable ingredients. They're also generally high in calories and low in nutrients. A diet consisting of lots of ultra-processed foods increases the risk of obesity, high blood pressure, and other unpleasant conditions, according to the Washington Post. Sam's Club carries a lot of those foods, and they tend to have a longer shelf life. Research has found that, on average, warehouse club consumers spend 5% more per person in the household per month on packaged foods, and that each person eats 8% more calories. Sam's Club employs the usual tricks of the retail trade to get their shoppers to buy more expensive items. They use careful placement and an intricately designed floor plan to make sure you trek through most of the store before you find the basic items you're looking for. That means you probably see and notice items you normally wouldn't, increasing the likelihood that you'll buy them.
Oh my God. Oh my, Cam, the paper shredder I wanted, huh? Confetti and crosscut. Yep.
They also often spur you along by triggering some fear of missing out, labeling pricier products positioned for impulse purchases as limited quantity or limited time only. If you're succumbing to these impulse purchases, chances are you aren't saving money. In that case, your Sam's Club membership isn't helping you at all. So far, most of the mistakes you make at Sam's Club fit into the theme of buying stuff you don't need. There's a simple trick to prevent this: make a shopping list beforehand. Armed with a shopping list, you only need to muster the strength to stick to it. Having a list while grocery shopping is a good habit with compelling benefits anyway. It saves time in the store because you're not trying to remember what you need. That eliminates browsing that can cause you to buy more, and unhealthy food decisions are often made impulsively. Not every mistake you can make at Sam's Club involves buying things you don't need. Lots of people don't buy things they should, and that's another big mistake. When you need certain more expensive non-grocery items, your warehouse club may be the best place to buy. For example, you can save money getting a new set of tires at Sam's Club instead of an automotive shop, or get a television for cheaper than at an electronics retailer. And where do you usually go for your caskets? The funeral parlor? Savvy consumers save hundreds on final resting vessels at Sam's Club.
Cameron, guess what I found? Coffins. They sell baby formula and they sell coffins. You can literally buy everything you need from birth to death.
Your Sam's Club gas station is another good place to enjoy that warm, fuzzy, elitist, members-only feeling, knowing that you're filling up your tank at prices that are often 10 to 20% lower than what others are paying. While Sam's came in second place overall in a national survey of best places to get gas, in its category for warehouse clubs, big box stores, and supermarkets, it ranked number 1. Sam's took second place for other important factors like price, pump speed, fuel quality, and appearance. If you've never paid any attention to the gift card selection at Sam's Club, you may be missing out on prime opportunities for significant savings. Normally, of course, you purchase gift cards for the exact amount of their value. But at Sam's Club, the store sells gift cards at up to a 25% discount on the total value of the card. Most of the discounts aren't that high, but there are certainly decent savings available on gift cards. And of course, when you're buying gift cards at a discount like that, it would also be a mistake to only buy them as gifts. If you see a selection of cards for places you frequent, stock up and save big down the road. If you're a cost-conscious consumer, failing to pick up booze at Sam's Club is a big mistake. Even if you're not a member, you can still purchase alcohol at any Sam's Club. Thanks to a law prohibiting beer, wine, and liquor sales to members-only groups, this part of the store is open to all in some states.
Thank you, alcohol.
Sam's Club made some waves in the wine world a few years ago when they introduced their Members Mark Chardonnay for $8, and people and reviewers actually liked it. Sam's Club has since released other store brand wines, but Members Mark wines aren't the only alcohol bargains at Sam's Club. For instance, you might score macro beer for 25% less than you'd pay elsewhere, or vodka for 15% less. And no matter what anyone tells you, there's no shame in buying booze in bulk. You can definitely find winning deals on TVs at Sam's Club, but savvy shoppers also know to do their due diligence before buying high-ticket electronics. Getting the best price on a television is much more about timing than where you buy, according to Consumer Reports. Also, pay close attention to exactly what you're getting when you purchase electronics at Sam's Club. Check all the specs to be sure it's not a lower quality version of the same product you intended to get. Make sure it comes with everything it should come with, too. Sometimes the models sold at warehouse clubs don't come with the accessories you expect. If you just can't bear to wait in line to pay at Sam's Club, there's an app for that. Download the store's Scan and Go app to your phone. It lets you scan items' barcodes as you shop and then pay through the app when you're done. The app also lets you track your spending, so it helps you notice if you're wasting money on extraneous purchases. You need to flash the digital receipt to an employee before waltzing out with all that stuff, though, so don't get any ideas. There's also Club Pickup, where you can order everything you want and pay for it online, then pick it up as soon as 4 hours later. As an added bonus, removing yourself from the in-store shopping experience eradicates the risk of impulse purchases and other wasteful spending. What if we told you there's one common mistake people make while shopping at Sam's Club that, if eliminated, could spare you from making a bunch of the other mistakes we've talked about? Going to Sam's Club alone is one of the worst mistakes you can make. Find yourself a shopping buddy, split the cost of membership, and split those enormous quantities of stuff you can't possibly get through. But the benefits don't end there. You and your shopping buddy can act as each other's financial advisor. Prevent each other from straying from your respective shopping lists, falling madly in love with something you sample, or purchasing a new washer-dryer set on a whim.
By paying the affordable annual membership fee, a savvy shopper can have access to unbelievably good deals at Sam's Club. But not everything is as good of a deal as it seems. Here's what you should buy at Sam's Club and what you should skip. If you're the kind of person who eats your 3 square meals a day and doesn't need anything else after that, then you likely won't think it's worth it to snag packaged snacks at the local store. But if you have kids or just like to have snacks on hand that are always ready for on-the-go adventures, then buying bulk packaged snacks at Sam's Club is a great idea. Most snacks don't go bad quickly, which means that you can keep them in your pantry for a long time without having to worry about the expiration date. Business Insider did the math to show that shopping for snacks at Sam's tends to be less expensive than getting the exact same items at another grocery store. Of course, you may have to hide those snacks if you don't want them flying off the pantry shelves the week after you buy them. You may think that Sam's Club is a great place to buy something like toilet paper, but that's actually not the case. In fact, the majority of the time, it's going to be way more cost-effective to buy toilet paper at your local grocery store. That's a relief, honestly, considering you probably don't want to have to go to Sam's Club every time you need to re-up on your toilet paper supply.
Toilet paper? Toilet paper? Toilet paper? Toilet paper? Toilet paper?
That said, you do have to pay attention to get the best deal here. Keep an eye on the toilet paper section at your local grocery store to get an idea of when the products are going on sale. That way you can snag your TP for a decent price without even having to go out of your way. If you're a hardcore sparkling water addict, you're likely well acquainted with the brand LaCroix. It's one of the most celebrated sparkling water brands out there because of its interesting flavors and quirky aesthetic. And that comes as no surprise when you take a look at all the different flavors that are available. And if you tend to buy this beverage in bulk, Sam's Club is a great place to snag it. That's because you can get a ton of cans in one purchase, way more than you'll get in a box you'd find at the grocery store. Plus, when you buy at Sam's Club, you know the price point is going to be excellent too. There are some foods where you'd be well served to keep it in the house on a regular basis. However, there are other foods that you shouldn't keep stocked in the back of your fridge or freezer. One such example, Totino's pizza rolls. First of all, these things are simply not good for you, and face it, you're going to eat way more than the recommended serving size anyway. They can't replace a meal after all, and a handful of these is not going to be a satisfying snack. Plus, when you buy from Sam's Club, you'll have even more to finish once they get in your freezer. If you want to cut back on the unhealthy snacks, buying these from Sam's Club is certainly not the way to do it. If you're looking for great products and great prices, then the Sam's Club Bakery is the place to be. What should you pick up when you get there? The Members Club Chocolate Chunk Cookies are a fine place to start. These cookies have super high ratings on Sam's Club's website, so you know they're good. And while they are delicious plain, they taste even better when you warm them up just a bit in your oven, air fryer, or microwave. These cookies can offer just the pick-me-up you need for the day. Buying in bulk can be good, but there are some items that it's pretty difficult to work through because of their shelf life. Sunscreen, which often comes with a long-term expiration date according to Consumer Reports, is one of them. Sure, you can probably finish a normal bottle of sunscreen in one summer, but unless you have a ton of people in your home, you're probably not going to go through a huge container of it in a single season. That's why a giant Sam's Club-sized bottle might not be such a great purchase after all. Sunscreen, especially if you're getting the high-quality kind, can be expensive. So you don't want to throw your money away by tossing the unused stuff at the end of the season. If you love drinking smoothies, keeping frozen fruits in your freezer is a perfect idea. That way, you'll be able to make a smoothie whenever you feel like one. Therefore, you may want to pick up a bag of the Members Mark Organic Triple Berry Blend you'll find at Sam's Club. 4 whole pounds of berries can make a whole bunch of smoothies. And frozen fruit can last in your fridge for a while too, so you don't have to use up all of them in a week to get your money's worth. Some people have large families, and so they tend to go through produce pretty regularly. Sure, if you're feeding several people, then you may not mind buying your produce at Sam's Club. But for everyone else, purchasing fresh produce from warehouse stores is very seldom a good idea. That's because, according to Kiplinger, produce at places like Sam's Club is often sold in bulk, leaving you with an ungodly amount of produce. There's a good chance that you're not going to eat that much of one type of veggie or fruit before it goes bad, so these purchases usually don't make that much sense. Luckily, you can always look for produce that's on sale at your local grocery store. If you choose carefully, you can often find great prices at regular stores. If you want something nice, hot, and relatively healthy instead of fast food, then there is one item you have to pick up at Sam's Club: a rotisserie chicken. We love these pre-cooked chickens because they're so versatile. You can carve them and serve them as is, or you can pull the meat off the bone and use it in a variety of other dishes. Plus, the price on these chickens is usually pretty low, meaning you can get the bulk of your meal taken care of without cooking or breaking the bank. Who doesn't want to feed their family that easily? When it comes to the clothing sales at Sam's Club, you're better off looking the other way. While some of the products may seem like popular name brands, you should question why you're getting them at such a good price. There's a chance that the retailer is just trying to get rid of styles that would otherwise be deemed out of fashion. Of course, you may see a piece of clothing that you really love, and if that's the case, you shouldn't hesitate to buy it. But if you think you're going to walk through Sam's Club and find the hottest new styles, you're almost definitely going to be disappointed. Keep style in mind when you are perusing the clothes at this warehouse store. Don't just buy something because it's attached to a name brand. You may have heard of Costco's peanut butter-filled pretzels in the past, and once you taste them, it'll be clear why. But just because you don't have a Costco in your area doesn't mean you can't enjoy the same flavor. That's because the Members Mark peanut butter-filled pretzels taste almost identical. The salty, crunchy exterior mixes perfectly with the thick, creamy peanut butter center, resulting in a snack you won't be able to stop reaching for. When you first take a look at the Members Mark Franks in a basket, you might think they look delicious, but unfortunately they have a tendency to get dried out, which makes them less than appetizing. Plus, if you're watching what you eat and are trying to make healthier choices, you may not want to keep them in the freezer. According to the nutritional information, they aren't exactly the healthiest snack you can have on hand. Of course, it doesn't hurt to have a treat in your freezer from time to time, but one that takes up this much space? If there's one snack that most people are guaranteed to love that you can find at Sam's Club, it's the Members Mark Mountain Trek Mix. We love this trail mix because it has the perfect combination of healthier items like almonds and peanuts, but it also features colorful chocolate treats as well. Whether you actually pack some when you're hiking or you're just looking for something to put in your child's lunchbox, this is definitely a solid option. Plus, at a whopping 64 ounces, this bag of trail mix is not going to be used up anytime soon. Are you the kind of person who always needs their coffee before getting a head start on their day?
It's just my thing, because everybody knows I drink a lot of coffee, so the day can't start until I've had my jolt.
The best of us are, and we never want to run out of coffee at home. But don't let the fear of running out turn you into a coffee hoarder. Buying coffee in bulk isn't a great idea unless you know for a fact you're going to be able to drink it all before it goes stale. Plus, you don't get to try as many varieties of coffee if you shop this way. If you care about how your coffee actually tastes, you should just pick it up at a local store. It will taste better, so you'll enjoy it more. And maybe that means you'll drink less of it? It's worth a try anyway. Homemade spreads and dips are always the best, but that doesn't mean you necessarily have time to make them on a regular basis. After all, who has time to make what's essentially just a side? Therefore, when you pass the Members Mark Jalapeno Artichoke Dip at Sam's Club, it may seem like a smart purchase. And you'd be right. If you're looking for a delicious dip to pair with chips, this purchase knocks it out of the park. It has the perfect amount of spiciness to keep you coming back for more, but not so much that it feels like your tongue is on fire. Plus, it saves you a lot of time in the process. Again, this one really depends on the size of your family or how many people you're feeding at your house on a regular basis. If there's one thing we know about Sam's Club, though, it's the fact that the store sells massive containers of condiments. Need ketchup, mustard, or mayo? It's likely to come in what seems like industrial-sized packaging. While that may be great for a massive cookout or a stupendously large household, it's probably not ideal for a smaller family. Condiments like ketchup and mayo don't last forever, so you don't want to buy more than you really need. Therefore, though you may feel like you're saving money when you buy these items at Sam's Club, you might spend more in the long run because you're throwing unused products away. One group of products that you can plan on keeping for a while is spices. A lot of the time, these spices aren't going to go bad all that quickly and can even sometimes be revived, so you don't have to worry about buying more at a time. This is especially true for spices you tend to use on a regular basis, like garlic or onion powder. And luckily, this is actually one of those products that can save you money when you buy it at Sam's Club. Plus, the Members Mark brand of spices is quite affordable, so you won't have to break the bank just to stock up your spice cabinet. There are lots of options here too, so don't be afraid to branch out and try something new. It's a great idea to keep a lot of different spices in your pantry because they allow you to switch up the flavor even if you're not using dramatically different ingredients each time you cook. Why not amp up that spice collection on your next trip to Sam's Club? Let's clarify something here. We're not saying that you shouldn't ever buy milk at Sam's Club. If you happen to be there and need milk at the time you're shopping, then go for it. What we mean is that you shouldn't go out of your way to buy milk at Sam's Club or any other warehouse store. Why? Because there's a good chance you're not even getting a better deal.
Milk was a bad choice.
AARP has reported that warehouse clubs usually offer very similar prices to local grocery stores on some items, while others are a bit of a better deal, especially bought in bulk. Sometimes the savings are worth it, and sometimes you spend more money on gas getting to Sam's Club than you'll actually save from buying the product there. Ultimately, you don't have to worry about missing out on a deal just because you'd prefer to get your milk closer to home. We're huge fans of the Members Mark Tandoori-style non-bites that you'll find at Sam's Club. They're super puffy and fluffy, but since they're so small, they're not overly filling. You can pair these non-bites with quite a few different foods, too. They're perfect for lunch boxes or just keeping on the kitchen counter for whenever a snack craving strikes. When you add a little one to your family, you're so excited to get to know them, but you're probably stretched for time and money too. And once you have a kid, you'll realize just how much you end up spending on diapers. The cost can be staggering, so it's smart to cut back in whatever way you can. Some think that shopping for diapers at a warehouse store like Sam's Club is the right move, but it turns out that strategy isn't quite as effective as you might think. Kiplinger pointed out that you shouldn't just assume you're getting the best price at a place like Sam's Club. Big box stores often offer even better deals on disposable diapers, so you'll want to check individual prices before you decide where to buy. In February of 2019, Sam's Club made a big announcement. It would start carrying USDA prime beef. This is one of the highest standards of meat quality, so you know you can get amazing steaks from Sam's Club now. If you're looking for an amazing, juicy steak that you can throw on a grill, then visit the meat department at Sam's Club. Turns out, you have a lot of options when it comes to the kinds of steaks you can get from Sam's Club. If you love tender cuts, the tenderloin may just be the way to go. However, if you prefer a fattier cut with more marbling, a ribeye is a perfect choice. Don't be afraid to ask the butcher if you have any questions about what kind of steak you should take home with you, too. Have you ever seen those giant cans of beans, corn, peas, and other veggies at stores like Sam's Club? They're often on offer for fantastic prices, and when you see how much food is included in one can, it can feel like you're getting the best deal ever. But think about it for a minute here. Normal-sized cans were designed to hold a few servings. These larger cans hold more servings than most families can eat before the contents go bad. If you're having a barbecue and you need a lot of one item, go ahead and buy it canned at Sam's Club. But if you're just buying for yourself or your family, buying these kinds of bulked canned products generally isn't going to work for your budget or your meal plan. If you're not the kind of person who likes to make their own bread on the regular, your best option just might be to have Members Mark yeast dinner rolls on deck. These rolls come in a large bag, so there is plenty to pass around. The best part is that they can be used in many applications. Whether you just want to serve a roll on the side of your meal or you want to make tiny sandwiches for your kids' lunches, these rolls are a great item to have on hand. Plus, your family is probably going to like them way more than a plain slice of bread. All too often, when you buy cereal at Sam's Club, you have to buy way too much of it. That's why we don't recommend purchasing bulk cereal from Sam's Club. First of all, you just don't get that much variety. Unless you always like eating the same thing, that's not ideal. When you buy smaller boxes of cereal, you get to choose many different varieties, so you're not always stuck with one kind. Plus, these boxes of cereal aren't as likely to go bad because they're easier to get through before that Best By date hits. But even worse is the fact that you can often get a better price for your cereal at a big box store. Check there first so you can get the variety and price you deserve.
The Sam's Club Cafe isn't messing around when it comes to satisfying your hunger while you shop. It's the home of amazing deals on tasty food that we all like to indulge in from time to time. Let's take a look at some of the most surprising Sam's Club food court secrets you'll wish you knew sooner. While in most cases you will need a Sam's Club membership to shop at the store, you don't need a membership card to sit down and enjoy the cafe. Does it have the best ambiance for a nice lunch? No. But if you need to grab some food fast and don't want to spend much money, it's definitely worth trying out. That's good to know because Sam's Club memberships aren't that cheap, especially if you don't plan on shopping there enough to make them worth it. The Sam's Club membership card costs $45, which gives loyal customers shopping access to the store and several other perks like exclusive prices on fuel and eligibility for a Sam's Club MasterCard. But die-hard Sam's Club fans will probably opt for the Plus membership, which offers free shipping, free select prescriptions, and even discounts on glasses. Can't be bothered with any of that? Grab your churro and be on your way. Let's face it, it's hard not to compare Sam's Club with Costco, but when you look at both of these wholesale stores, it is possible to go beyond the grocery section to take a closer look at both of their food courts. They both have some delicious items, and many of them are shockingly similar. For example, just look at what happened when Costco discontinued their Polish hot dogs. Sam's Club started selling their own version. While you'll mostly find similar quality when it comes to the menu items at both of these food courts, we have to admit that Sam's Club falls short when it comes to variety. If you're a regular Costco shopper, don't expect to find the same options waiting for you at the Sam's Club food court. Costco just offers its hungry shoppers more options than Sam's Club does. Don't let that stop you from eating there, though. What the Sam's Club Cafe does, it does well. Yes, Sam's Club Cafe does have a secret menu, and it's actually pretty impressive. Probably the most celebrated item on the menu is the pizza pretzel, and it's just what it sounds like. You take the soft pretzel, which is already on the regular menu, and ask for it covered with cheese. Then it's topped with pepperoni and popped into the oven. The result is the pizza pretzel in all of its glory. Don't forget to ask for marinara dipping sauce on the side either. That just may be the best part. We all love a good Chick-fil-A chicken nugget from time to time. They're distinct from other chicken nuggets in that it actually feels like you're biting into a piece of chicken and not just a chicken-flavored, machine-rendered blob. But if you're already on a Sam's Club run, you don't have to make a second stop to fulfill your nugget craving. That's because you can grab the chicken bites straight from the cafe. This might be a hot take, but some even claim that they're better than Chick-fil-A's nuggets. We won't make such a bold claim, but we do encourage you to try them for yourself to see what all the hype is about.
You like chicken, Deborah?
I really do. If you really fall in love with these things, you're in luck, and you won't have to take regular trips to the cafe. That's because Sam's Club actually sells them in the freezer section too. They come in a 3-pound bag, so you can keep a stash in your freezer for whenever you're craving fast food but don't want to leave the house. The secret menu at the Sam's Club food court may not be well known, but it does feature some of the food court's most celebrated hits. The Icy Float is one of those gotta-have-it items that we love grabbing on just about every Sam's Club run. It's a simple dessert at its finest. You simply choose the flavor you want, then get it topped with the creamiest of vanilla soft serves. You can choose from frozen cherry, frozen Pepsi, and frozen blue raspberry. Our opinion? You should try them all. It goes without saying that this ultra-sweet treat should be enjoyed on the hottest and sunniest of summer days for the ultimate Sam's Club food court experience.
Brain freeze. Ever get that?
Sometimes you just need to get dinner on the table fast. Whether you're just making food for yourself or you have to feed the whole family, pizza may just be the easiest way to do that. It's simple and fuss-free, and everyone in your house is going to love it. You have a few options when you opt for a pizza for the night. First, you could go for delivery, which is convenient but also more expensive than other options. Second, you could just take a trip to Sam's Club and grab a take-and-bake pizza to bring home with you. These things are pretty good, and they're sure to fill you up. But as long as you're already in Sam's Club, you should know that there are better options. Head to the food court and pick up a fresh pizza instead. You may think that they would taste almost identical to the take-and-bake pizzas, but that's just not the case. The fresh pizzas here are so much better. It doesn't take any extra work to pick up one of those, so think about grabbing one the next time you shop at Sam's Club, and you'll thank yourself later. If you've lived a good life, you've had many a churro before. How could you not love churros? They're fried, they're covered in sugar, and they're dipped in chocolate. But you don't have to take a flight to Madrid to get one of the best churros you've ever had in your life. Just head to the Sam's Club food court. You'll find massive churros that taste just as good as they look. These addictive desserts are 16 inches long at Sam's Club. Buy one from the food court if you need a pick-me-up in the middle of the day. Buy a whole bouquet of them if you need to apologize for doing something really wrong. Or better yet, buy a bulk wholesale case of them after your next breakup. You'll get 65 whole churros, which should be enough to get you through your rough patch and onto your next date. After some time at the gym, of course. If you're eating at the Sam's Club Cafe and want to find something that's on the healthier side, you can always opt for the fruit and yogurt parfait. It's actually really tasty, and it can be eaten as a breakfast or as a dessert. There's one catch though, they're kind of expensive. It'll set you back $2.99 for just one of them. And considering everything you can get on the menu that's cheaper than that, which is practically everything, it may not be your first choice if you're pinching your pennies. If you have money to burn, then by all means go for it. If not, consider this your free pass to get a super inexpensive churro instead of the parfait. It's called financial health.
Have you ever met a person you say, hey, let's get some parfaits? They say, hell no, I don't like no parfaits. Parfaits are delicious.
Picture this. You're standing at the counter of the Sam's Club food court and trying to decide what to get. There are so many options, but one in particular stands out. The pizza. Who can blame you? Just about every pizza is a good pizza, but Sam's Club delivers a surprisingly tasty pizza considering it's coming from a wholesale bargain store. And when you consider you can get a slice and a drink for under $2.50, it's even more appealing. But even after you decide on the pizza, you still have to make a critical choice: cheese or pepperoni. If you ask us, the pepperoni is the way to go every single time. The pepperoni adds some texture and crunch to the pizza, which is a vast improvement on the plain cheese pizza. Keep this hack in mind though. Remember to get some extra napkins. Just about any pizza you order from the Sam's Club Cafe will be pretty greasy, and you may want to blot some of that extra fat off.
How you doing, pal? I got your pizza for you just the way you like it.
After you've spent a long day at work, shopping for groceries can feel like an almost insurmountable task. After you do that, the last thing you'll want to do is drive home and throw together a homemade meal. Pizza was made for nights like this, and Sam's Club is a great place to get it. It will generally take about 10 to 15 minutes from the time you order until the pizza's done, but you may not want to sit there waiting for it. Skip the wait and just place your order ahead of time. When you first arrive at the store, just walk up and place your order. Do your shopping, check out, and go back to the food court once you're all done. Your pizza will be done and waiting for you. Take it home and enjoy without any of the hassle of cooking for yourself or stopping someplace else for takeout. It might just become a part of your new grocery shopping routine.
Tainted meat isn't all that surprising, but applesauce pouches for kids? Let's just say this list of Sam's Club recalls is both varied and shocking. Back in 2011, nearly 55,000 pounds of raw Jennie-O Turkey Store turkey burgers were recalled after 12 customers were infected with salmonella in 10 states. 3 of these people were hospitalized. Salmonella is scary by default. But this outbreak proved to be particularly concerning, as the CDC reported that the burgers had tested positive for Salmonella Hadar, a strain that has previously proven resistant to the most commonly prescribed antibiotics. This can make it particularly dangerous for those with already weakened immune systems, increasing the risk of hospitalization and unsuccessful treatment. There are few foods that aren't improved by the salty, silky smooth goodness that is smoked salmon. However, in 2012, Sam's Club shoppers were encouraged to ditch their purchases when a routine lab test on a yet-to-be-distributed shipment of salmon revealed that it was contaminated with Listeria, a bacteria known to cause fever, diarrhea, sickness, and even fatal infections in those with vulnerable immune systems.
Oh my God!
To be extra cautious, the companies responsible for producing the fish, Multi-Export Foods and Tampa Bay Fisheries, decided to pull shipments that had already hit shelves. This impacted Sam's Club locations in 42 states and Puerto Rico. The chain requested that customers bring their smoked salmon, which was sold under the brand name Paramount Reserve in November and December of that year, back to the store for a full refund as soon as possible. Fortunately, no illnesses were linked to the recalled products, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. There's a long list of stories about what actually goes into chicken nuggets, some of them scarily accurate, others creatively false. However, one thing that rarely makes the list is plastic, except in 2014, when the material did somehow manage to make it into nuggets stocked on Sam's Club's shelves. Tyson Foods recalled 75,000 pounds of frozen chicken nuggets in April of that year after receiving complaints that they contained tiny pieces of plastic. It's thought that a faulty product scraper had broken in the blending machine on 2 production dates, January 26th and February 16th, 2014, which in turn contaminated the nuggets with an unplanned and potentially dangerous extra ingredient. Unfortunately, several customers had already eaten the nuggets and suffered minor oral injuries. To avoid more incidents and the risk of legal action, 5-pound bags of Tyson fully cooked white meat chicken nuggets were recalled at Sam's Club stores nationwide. Tyson also pulled its 20-pound bulk packs of nuggets that it had shipped for institutional use in Indiana and Arkansas. Plastic isn't the only inedible material you have to worry about ending up in your food. In 2016, nearly 9,000 pounds of pre-cooked, vacuum-sealed ham was scrapped from Sam's Club stores after a customer found pieces of rubber in their ham. Fletcher's Fine Foods Classics Black Forest brand ham with natural juices was produced by 502 Boundary Boulevard in Washington before being packaged in Ontario, Canada, and shipped to Sam's Club stores across the U.S. According to Fortune, the USDA claimed that anyone who purchased and consumed the meat risked encountering, quote, a health hazard situation where there is a remote possibility of adverse health consequences. This is due in no small part to the number of chemicals used in the production of rubber. As usual, anyone who'd purchased the ham was told to either return it to a Sam's Club store or take the low-effort route of just throwing it out. However, in the end, it seems only one customer was unlucky enough to stumble across the rubbery bonus ingredient in their ham. Ground beef was at the heart of another deadly outbreak in 2018, when 132,000 pounds of meat were recalled from grocery stores, including Sam's Club, by Cargill Meat Solutions. According to the USDA, the meat presented a risk of E. coli contamination, a bacteria most commonly found in raw or undercooked beef that can cause stomach pain, diarrhea, and even kidney failure. The meat was linked to at least 17 illnesses and 1 death between July 5th and July 25th, 2018. Sam's Club stores nationwide were impacted by the recall. Anyone who may have purchased the meat was encouraged to carry out the standard check on their freezer for beef dated June 21st and dispose of any affected products. While healthy adults typically recover from an E. coli infection within a week, serious issues are much more likely in very young children and the elderly. Considering the fact you can develop an infection by consuming even a tiny amount of bacteria, the recall was carried out with an understandable amount of urgency. Another day, another panic that your food may contain plastic. In March 2018, it was canned chicken that sparked fears of contamination, with nearly 100,000 pounds recalled from Sam's Club stores after 2 different customers reported finding hard pieces in their food.
If you have this in your pantry right now, throw it out or return it for a refund.
The exact product pulled from shelves was the Members Mark Premium Natural Chunk Chicken Breasts in water, produced by Tony Downs Food Company in Minnesota. It's believed that the thermally processed chicken was contaminated in late November 2017. Luckily, complaints never escalated any further, and no illnesses were reported. A mass recall went down in July 2021 when Give & Go Prepared Foods Corp. Warned that its muffins may be contaminated with listeria. Sam's Club was just one of several retailers hit by the recall, which affected a whopping 26 products in total, including Uncle Wally's Twin Muffins, sold at Sam's Club stores nationwide in blueberry, chocolate chip, and walnut varieties. Luckily, Give & Go Prepared Foods claimed that no illnesses had been reported as a result of chowing down on the muffins, and that the recall was just a precautionary move after the FDA found that the products were very possibly affected by Listeria monocytogenes as part of its environmental monitoring program. Anyone who had the muffins stocked in their pantry was advised to dispose of the baked goods as a precaution, with the FDA officially wrapping up its recall not long after. Plastic returns to this list yet again, this time for a recall of Members Mark holiday macarons that occurred in late 2022. Seasonal flavors of the iconic French cookie, such as vanilla, salted caramel, hot chocolate, cookies and cream, red velvet, and creme brulee, were affected. Around 148,800 units of the cookies were recalled from Sam's Club stores between December 2022 and January 2023. Sublime Desserts triggered the recall after discovering that there was a possibility that they could contain plastic particles. What makes this recall so tricky is the fact that the macarons have such a long shelf life and are supposed to be kept frozen. The macarons affected had sell-by dates running all the way through to December 2023, meaning there's always a good chance that some lurked in the depths of Sam's Club's customers' freezers and missed the recall notice entirely.
Great Scott!
Whether you're a PB&J addict or a straight-from-the-jar with a spoon kind of person, a jar of peanut butter goes a long way in the kitchen. But only if the jar in question wasn't Jif peanut butter purchased at any Sam's Club or Walmart in mid-2022. In May of that year, over 4 dozen types of Jif peanut butter products, including Jif Creamy Smooth Peanut Butter and Jif Squeezable Pouches, were recalled by the J.M. Smucker Company due to potential salmonella contamination. The CDC reported over 21 confirmed cases of illness and 2 hospitalizations linked to the outbreak, with around 80% of this number claiming to have eaten Jif before their sickness. Later that month, the recall expanded to other food brands that use J.M. Smucker-produced peanut butter in their products, including Garden Cut, Koblenz Chocolate Company, and Mary's Harvest Fresh Foods. Fast forward 2 years, and some customers are still angry about the peanut butter recall. In January 2024, Wayne and Mary Hinkin filed a lawsuit against both J.M. Smucker Company and Sam's Club. Wayne Hinkin demanded at least $75,000 in damages for negligence and liability, having allegedly contracted salmonella so badly in 2022 that he felt the effects for weeks. Supporting his case is the fact that in early 2023, the FDA reported that testing at J.M. Smucker's plant in Kentucky had consistently pointed to salmonella for months before the recall. However, this lawsuit was dismissed in April 2024. October 2023 saw a lead scare that impacted not only Sam's Club, but Amazon and Dollar Tree as well. A mass recall occurred after the state of North Carolina conducted an urgent investigation into why several children were experiencing elevated lead levels in their blood, along with headaches, nausea, and fatigue, all potential signs of acute lead poisoning. The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services managed to pin down one possible source, which later tested positive for extremely high concentrations of lead. Wanabana Apple Cinnamon Fruit Puree Pouches.
How many of these applesauce pouches do you think he had eaten?
They were a regular part of his diet.
Considering the fact that even low levels of lead in the bloodstream can cause irreversible cognitive impairment, it should come as no surprise that the Food and Drug Administration insisted upon a recall of all pouches. Anyone who had previously purchased the Wanabana products was encouraged to return the kid-oriented snacks for a refund or exchange, while parents who suspected their children had been exposed to lead via the pouches were told to talk to their doctor about a blood test just in case. By December, there were 64 cases linked to the Wanabana pouches across 27 states, triggering an on-site investigation of the manufacturer's factory in Ecuador, making this one of the more dramatic recalls to hit Sam's Club stores. The latter part of 2023 was not a good time for Sam's Club. Just a month after the Wanabana fiasco, a deadly listeria outbreak in North Carolina was tracked to fresh peaches, nectarines, and plums sold at Sam's Club and other retailers. By the time the FDA linked the outbreak to the fruits, the affected products, which were produced by HMC Farms, were long gone from the shelves of all retailers. However, a concern was that some customers may have frozen the fruit to use at a later date. The fruit in question spanned 6 varieties: yellow peaches, white peaches, yellow nectarines, white nectarines, red plums, and black plums. While at least 11 people got sick after eating the stone fruits, 1 died, and a pregnant victim went into early labor during her sickness. With listeria able to survive freezing temperatures, the CDC not only warned that customers should throw out any affected or potentially affected fruits, but also clean anything else the fruits may have touched. Even pet food isn't off limits from the odd recall. However, this one didn't occur because it made dogs and cats sick. Instead, 2 flavors of canned Members Mark dog food produced by Mid-America Pet Food were recalled in November 2023 after 7 people were infected with salmonella, beef and brown rice, and salmon and sweet potato to be precise. With the majority of these 7 people being infants, it's thought that the contaminated pet food infected those who touched the floor and pet bowls, or that the infants' caregivers passed it on by not washing their hands after feeding their dogs. Pets can also contract salmonella and act as carriers, passing it on to both other animals and humans. Infants are much more prone to serious infections from salmonella, and one was reportedly hospitalized due to the outbreak. Retailers other than Sam's Club were also hit by this recall, with some having more than 2 products pulled from their shelves. However, for those who do rely on Sam's Club's Members Mark collection to feed their pets, this was likely a pretty scary time. As has become quite obvious throughout this video, the slightest whisper of salmonella is enough to trigger a mass product recall. In January 2024, there were much more than whispers that charcuterie trays sold at Sam's Club contained the dangerous bacteria. The CDC linked the deli meat to sickness among over 24 customers across 14 states.
Wow.
Bussetto Foods subsequently recalled over 11,000 pounds of the Bussetto Foods charcuterie sampler. An estimated 323 Sam's Club stores in 27 states stocked the deli meat at the time and consequently pulled the trays from shelves as a precaution. Customers were warned not only to throw out all trays with a sell-by date of April 27, 2024, but also clean anything they may have touched with hot water. The CDC theorized that many more people had been infected without realizing it was salmonella. And as numbers continued to grow and 10 were hospitalized, it eventually encouraged Sam's Club customers to throw out all trays, regardless of their lot code.
The food court at Costco might get more national attention, but Sam's Club has items that can legitimately compete with the best Costco has to offer. We've ranked everything they have to offer from worst to best, so that you can be ready next time you're in the Sam's Club food court line. Even if you are on a diet, the Caesar salad in the Sam's Club food court should be completely avoided. The main issue with their Caesar salad is the romaine lettuce. First of all, it's soft, wilted, and lacks any sort of satisfying crunch. The lettuce is so slimy that it's difficult to swallow. The included Parmesan cheese is so bland that it's virtually tasteless, while the texture of the croutons is inconsistent. Some croutons are too soft, while others are rock hard. The dressing that comes with the Sam's Club Caesar salad is sugar-free and certified organic. Unfortunately, this dressing isn't too healthy for you due to an overabundance of fat, which is the case for most types of Caesar dressing. Perhaps in an effort to hide the shortcomings of this food court item, the salad comes with a lemon wedge. However, even if you cover this entire thing with lemon juice, it won't be able to mask the disappointment your taste buds will encounter if you attempt to eat this salad. The pizza at Sam's Club smells amazing and looks even better. Be warned, though, that the cheese pizza will leave you completely underwhelmed. When you first begin to handle a slice of the cheese pizza, the vast amount of grease will be the first hint that you've made a mistake. If you angle your slice wrong, a torrential downpour of grease will inevitably find your clothing. The second major drawback of the cheese pizza is the surprising lack of cheese. Judging by the name, you'd expect to receive a fair amount of cheese, but that's not the case. Instead, you'll notice too many naked sections where the underlying tomato sauce is laid bare. While some of the pizza at Sam's Club is good, their plain cheese pizza is not. It's a hard pass. And don't be confused and think this pizza is the same as the deliciousness you find at Costco, because it's not. In fact, it's not even close.
A lovely cheese pizza just for me.
If you are a Costco member, you know all about how wonderful their hot dogs taste. For $1, you get a memorable meal that is one of the best bargains in the culinary world. While your local Sam's Club hot dog may look similar to Costco, don't be fooled into thinking all Warehouse Club hot dogs are created equal. Like the Costco's hot dogs, Sam's Club will give it to you for $1, and making it a combo will cost only 50 cents more. And just like Costco, the Sam's Club hot dogs weigh in at 1/4 pound. But that's where the similarities end. Sam's Club hot dogs aren't worth eating. The texture is mushy and it doesn't have a genuine beef flavor at all. Once upon a time, Sam's Club sold Nathan's Famous hot dogs in their food courts. Sadly, they recently switched over to using their own brand of hot dogs, and it's been a flavorless failure. The frozen yogurt at Sam's Club is another disappointment. It's fairly priced and you have a choice of 3 flavors: vanilla, chocolate, or a swirl of both. It all sounds good, but the actual frozen yogurt will leave you wondering where it all went wrong. The texture of the frozen yogurt is the primary issue. Instead of being rich and creamy, the texture is surprisingly rough and icy. The secondary issue is the lack of taste. It's odd, but both the vanilla and chocolate hardly have any taste to them at all. Even if you get a swirl of both flavors, you still won't get much in the way of flavor. There is a bit of good news though. These desserts from Sam's Club are low in calories, with the vanilla variety having only 110 calories per cup, for example. While the pepperoni pizza is an improvement over the cheese pizza at Sam's Club, there's still not a whole lot to love about it. Although it inexplicably has more cheese than the cheese pizza, grease is even more of an issue. The reason for the grease apocalypse is the lack of quality of the pepperoni. Instead of being thick, substantial slices of pepperoni, the slices are thin, greasy, and they lack a powerful punch of flavor. The best tasting pepperoni has a bit of a kick to it, but that's not the case with the pepperoni on this pizza. If you really want pepperoni pizza from Sam's Club, consider their take and bake pepperoni pizza. Compared to the pizza you get at the food court, the take and bake pizza will be less greasy, the quality of the pepperoni is higher, and the amount of cheese is even greater. In the Sam's Club food court, you can get an icy for a reasonable price, and you can be confident that the quality will be high. You can get them in either 20-ounce or 30-ounce cups. The 3 flavors available are cherry, Pepsi Freeze, and blue raspberry. While all 3 flavors are good and refreshing, go with blue raspberry if you don't know which one to select. It's a unique flavor that tastes best in icy form. Though there's nothing wrong with the ices at Sam's Club, the excitement level just isn't there. If you've had an icy flavor once, you know what to expect and you are unlikely to make a special trip to Sam's Club to order it again. While the food court at Sam's Club offers a lot of bang for your buck, that's not really the case with their fruit and yogurt parfait. These goodies are smaller than you are imagining. You'll probably need to order 2 of them in order to be satisfied. However, at $2.99 each, forking over nearly $6 for a pair of these parfaits is an iffy decision unless you have money to burn. The fruit and yogurt parfait has some low-fat Yoplait vanilla yogurt at the bottom. The next layer is fresh fruit from Sam's Club produce section. Typically, that fresh fruit layer is either blueberry or strawberry. The top layer is a granola layer, Nature Valley oats and honey to be specific. The ingredients of this parfait are top-notch. It's healthy and you will enjoy each spoonful. The only issue is value. It's much smarter to buy each of the ingredients separately and create your own parfait. Thus, unless you are in a major hurry or your bank account is teeming with funds, you'd be wise to skip this parfait. Sam's Club churros are at their best when they're warm. You don't want to eat it when it's piping hot, and you definitely don't want to eat it when it's cold. When the churro is warm, the texture is satisfyingly chewy and the dough will melt in your mouth. The coating of cinnamon and sugar will have you licking your fingers as you eat it.
Let's eat!
Unfortunately, sometimes their churros are too crunchy. Other times it will be cooled off completely by the time it hits your lips. If you are willing to live with the risks, go ahead and order one of these long churros at the food court. Since they only cost $1, it won't be the end of the world if you get a dud. Ordering a slice of Sam's Club Deluxe Pizza is another step in the right direction when compared to the cheese pizza and the pepperoni pizza. In addition to pepperoni, the Deluxe has Italian sausage, black olives, mushrooms, and onions. The Italian sausage is outstanding, much better than the pepperoni. Of the vegetables, the black olives steal the show. The pieces are big, flavorful, plentiful, and make each bite rewarding. The mushrooms on the Deluxe Pizza aren't bad, but they aren't anything special either. You don't get many mushrooms, and the few you do get don't have much flavor. The onion slices have a good amount of flavor, but the texture is unpleasant. While the cheese and pepperoni pizzas are both greasy, this version doesn't have much of a grease problem. You will still need napkins at your side, but you won't have to be as paranoid about the grease strip issue. If you are looking for something quick, easy, and dependably tasty at the food court, you can't go wrong with a pretzel. While Sam's Club offers both salt and cinnamon sugar pretzels, you should always go with the salt version. The cinnamon sugar pretzel isn't bad, but if you are after cinnamon and sugar, you might as well take your chances and order a churro. Along with your salt pretzel, order a cup of nacho cheese to dip it in. The cheese takes Sam's Club pretzels to the next level. It's such a delicious combination that you might have to order another salt pretzel and another nacho cheese cup for the road. If you like the Sam's Club pretzels, you'll be happy to learn that you can purchase them in bulk. Sam's Club sells 60 of them in a box for a very reasonable cost. Put them in the oven for 3 to 4 minutes or pop one in the microwave for about a minute and you'll be ready to munch. While the Bacon Angus cheeseburger looks unassuming and like a burger you'd find at any generic fast food joint or mall food court, it's actually quite unique. The meat is juicy and full of flavor, while the bun is light, fluffy, and buttery. Along with onions, ketchup, and mustard, the Bacon Angus cheeseburger comes with relish and sauerkraut. What really stands out in a positive way is the sauerkraut. While sauerkraut on a burger may sound odd, it actually works out amazingly well. If you fall in love with this cheeseburger, you can purchase a 10-pack of frozen Angus beef cheeseburgers for your freezer at home. While the aforementioned frozen yogurt cups are too blur, Sam's Club solves that issue by adding a blend of berries to the mix. They call the result a 4-berry sundae, and it's by and large the best dessert option at their food court. Your first duty is to select a base of either vanilla frozen yogurt or chocolate frozen yogurt. While the chocolate works surprisingly well, going with the vanilla option is safer and should be what you order if you are unsure. Next, your friendly Sam's Club worker then adds a mix of blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, and strawberries. While all the berries are tasty, the raspberries and blackberries are what will really grab your attention. The only drawback of this sundae is its nutrition. One sundae has 350 calories and a whopping 56 grams of sugar. Though you don't want to eat this frozen delicacy every day of the week, it's worth putting your diet plans on hold to give it a try. Sam's Club's tastiest pizza is one that's stacked with 4 kinds of meats. 2 of the 4 types of meat can be found on the deluxe pizza, pepperoni and Italian sausage, with the other 2 being bacon and ham. The ham is very good, while the bacon eclipses both the ham and the Italian sausage as the best meat on this pizza. Even if you don't usually order bacon on your pizza, you will be blown away by the flavorful bacon on this food court pizza. Although this pizza is topped by a ton of meat, Sam's Club is kind enough to also include a massive amount of cheese. One word of advice though, don't purchase the take and bake version. There isn't enough cheese on it and the amount of bacon is underwhelming too. While they are a relatively new addition to Sam's Club food court menu, the chicken bites have rocketed to the top of the list. These nuggets are out of this world. In fact, it's not an exaggeration to compare the Sam's Club food court nuggets to the chicken nuggets you get at Chick-fil-A. While the Chick-fil-A nuggets might be slightly better, this version by Sam's Club is very close to a perfect replication. Though the food court has a few sauces to pick from, most notably a really good ranch sauce, you should know that Chick-fil-A sauce is available in stores. Buy these chicken bites at Sam's Club, pick up some Chick-fil-A sauce, and you'll have an extremely tasty meal that didn't cost you much money. If you wander away from the food court, you can find these chicken bites in a 3-pound bag in the freezer section.
Rotten canned corn probably isn't at the top of your grocery list, but could it wind up in your cart? If you're shopping at Sam's Club, you might want to rethink these staples. At 4.2 stars, the Members Mark solid white albacore tuna and water doesn't seem like such a bad deal. However, the product has complaints of unwanted ingredients, while others say there is too much to eat at one time. Sam's Club is a bulk buy warehouse, but tuna is one of the things that you'll want to use immediately after opening the can, and more than 66 ounces is a lot of tuna. An additional complaint focuses on the shipping and notes that the cans were dented. This seems to be a consistent problem that shows up with most of the Members Mark tinned foods, but for something like canned tuna, a dent would be especially bad. Not only would the product leak, but the tuna odor would escape the can as well. You might consider purchasing this in person to ensure you get a can that isn't dinged. If you really want to be annoyed at people who rate products, Members Mark Mandarin Oranges is the product for you. These Mandarin Oranges, sold in a large 105-ounce can, are rated at 4.5 stars with numerous 1, 2, and 3-star ratings, and absolutely no reviews for any of them as of September 2022. Listen, if you're going to leave a negative rating on a product's webpage, please have the courtesy to say why you're giving the product a lower rating. Be a good customer.
Look at this! Got a little VIP lounge for me.
Guys, he's doing it again.
You smell that? That's VIP air.
Members Mark Mandarin Oranges are also sold in a 10-pack of 15-ounce cans, and these, thankfully, have some reviews along with the lower ratings. Complaints include too much juice and not enough fruit, objections that the fruit was bitter tasting, claims that there was a lot of peel, and one comment about how the oranges were a lower grade fruit. That's not exactly promising. The majority of Members Mark canned goods that are currently available are tomato products. The complaints vary greatly and often appear to be due to personal taste, at least when you can spot an actual review. For Members Mark whole peeled tomatoes and tomato juice in the 102-ounce can, there really aren't many reviews or ratings to start with. The product still gets 4.5 stars overall, and there are only a handful of reviews for the 1, 2, and 3-star ratings. Still, the complaints are food for thought, with some saying that the product is too watery, has too much sodium, and is never available. Excess sodium can be a problem in canned goods, and normally you should always rinse canned vegetables and beans, which would remove things like sodium from the surface of the canned food in question. This, unfortunately, doesn't work that well for peeled tomatoes and juice. Members Mark diced tomatoes and juice comes in a 102-ounce can, with numerous ratings of 1, 2, and 3 stars. The biggest complaint is that the product is too watery. Luckily, the soupiness is easily overcome by just draining the juice from the can. Diced tomatoes themselves tend to remain with better texture in the can because of a firming agent that's added to the food. There's also a problem that just comes with canned tomatoes no matter the brand. Canned diced tomatoes are cooked, so their texture will be different from fresh tomatoes no matter what you do. Despite its 4.5-star rating, the Members Mark cut green beans, available as a 12-count pack of 14.5-ounce cans, has some troubling reviews.
We've eaten from these tins of mystery for years now, haven't we?
Many of the reviews complain that the beans are excessively stringy and mostly stems. The texture of the beans are described as overly fibrous, and not at all what you might expect. In all, about 8 reviews have qualms about stringiness in one form or another, so you may want to be prepared for that if you buy this product. It's not exactly known why green beans turn out so stringy. According to Gardening Know-How, excessive stringiness is a sign that beans were picked too late. However, according to Oregon Live, that justification hasn't been confirmed as the real reason why some green beans end up so wiry. At 4.5 stars overall, Members Mark tomato sauce in the 106-ounce can is one of the lower-rated Members Mark products, but 4.5 out of 5 stars is still pretty darn good. However, many of the negative reviews mention dented cans. How much of a deal-breaker is that? According to the University of Wyoming Extension, minor dents aren't a big deal, but extensive damage means it's safer to just get rid of the can. Other complaints call the product too salty or too watery and say that it seems like the product has been switched, meaning that the name was the same, but the product inside has changed. The canned tomato adventure continues with another version of Members Mark tomato sauce. The 12-pack of 15-ounce cans get 4.6 stars, but customers have also claimed the product is too sweet and unsuitable for sauce. Another review calls the sauce too bland, while others complain about an awful smell, severe discoloration, rusted cans, and an abundance of the negative reviews mention most or all of the cans being dented. While there were many positive reviews, this one might warrant some careful consideration. Sam's Club carries canned chicken in a 50-ounce size, and the good news is that it's one of the most convenient and nutritious foods you could hope to find wrapped in metal. There are a lot of reasons why you should always have canned chicken in your pantry. However, this particular product puts even those into question. Overall, the product has 4.6 stars, but the more negative reviews include criticisms about a possibly spoiled batch where the meat had an oily texture and off-putting odor, as well as many complaints about dented cans. Some reviewers didn't want such a big can, having to throw away the remainder of the product. If you decide to buy this product and find yourself swimming in chicken, you can freeze the portions you can't eat quickly. Still Tasty puts the shelf life of frozen, canned chicken at 1 to 2 months, but also says that this describes quality only. If the freezer is working properly and the chicken is kept at 0 Fahrenheit or below, the USDA says meat should remain safe to eat past that brief time span. In the same realm of canned chicken, 6-count of 12.5-ounce cans of Members Mark Premium Chunk Chicken Breast gets 4.6 stars, and actually a lot of compliments for the chicken itself. People like the product, but recent reviews show many complaints about how much the price has gone up, with one person even stating they're buying rotisserie chickens from now on. Maybe you should go for a freshly roasted chicken yourself, especially considering how many options there are for picking up a delicious rotisserie chicken. Members Mark Pineapple Tidbits in the 107-ounce can get generally good ratings with 4.7 stars. Still, it has a handful of 1 and 3-star ratings with no reviews, leaving potential consumers guessing why former shoppers didn't like the product. It doesn't get much better when you look at the higher ratings also having no reviews. Add in the fact that there are plenty of other options for pineapple, and it's safe to say that this one should be a no-go. Another option for canned tropical fruits is the 107-ounce can of Members Mark Tropical Fruit Salad. This has a few ratings of 1, 2, and 3 stars, and only 2 of those have accompanying reviews. One reports a chemical-like taste, and the other thought the fruit was too hard to eat on its own, but might work when blended for a smoothie. And again, the higher ratings don't have much written about them either. That said, this is another product where you may not have much to go on, save for the general sort of idea that this isn't the same kind of tropical fruit salad you might make at home. Tomatoes make another appearance here, this time as the Members Mark crushed tomatoes and tomato puree. This 105-ounce can gets 4.8 stars overall, but the content of the negative reviews is worth some consideration. They all complain about texture. One called the product bland and watery, so much so that it just didn't work in their recipe. Another negative review gives a little history of the product. The customer wrote that they used to buy another brand that Members Mark replaced, and that since then, the texture has been off. The customer review points out that the product was more like chunks of tomato instead of the crushed pureed mixture that most brands use. Another customer agrees, also noting the appearance of tomato skins in the mixture. There's a genuine difference between crushed tomatoes and diced tomatoes, so if you need that distinction to be clear, skip this can. And it's also worth mentioning that this product seems to suffer from the same problem that many Sam's Club cans get called out for: crushed and dented cans. The 12-pack of 6-ounce cans of Members Mark tomato paste has some odd reviews. The product itself has 4.8 stars, so this is one canned tomato product that isn't doing too badly, or so it seems. One review claims the labels on the cans were printed upside down, which led to the customer initially trying to use a can opener on the bottom of the can, and another declares the tins had no label at all. A further reviewer says the best by date had no year, just a month and day. Assuming the date was not using a calendar code that the customer couldn't interpret, we can imagine it would be a bit distressing to find that there is no way to tell when a product's quality will start to decline. Best by dates may be guidelines according to the USDA, but that doesn't mean you want to take chances that the quality of a product you just bought actually started declining last year. If you buy this product, ensure the labels are on correctly and look for a fully printed best by date. If that's missing, that's just not a good sign.
You're eating 8-year-old tomatoes.
They're still good for another week.
You know, I think I might have some type of cheese in the back of my fridge you might like.
Corn on the cob is delicious but difficult. Canned corn is a marvel. You can snack on it, cook with it, and even use the water it's packed in for soup. You can even upgrade your canned corn by dressing it up with spices and sauce for a salad you'll love to eat. The wonders of corn taken into account, it's rather disappointing to find that Members Mark whole kernel sweet corn has a lot of complaints about texture. The product has 4.7 stars overall, but reviews complain about the corn being tough to chew, rotten, and with a flavor that was not at all what it should be, especially considering the potential that corn has. Quite a few comments point out that the carton, not the shipping box but the carton holding the 12 cans, was in good shape, yet the cans inside were all dented. That implies denting happened somewhere in the production process, not through shipping. If you want to buy canned corn at Sam's Club, be careful, especially if those reviews are accurate. Keep a close eye on the recent reviews and see if the complaints about dents taper off.
So if you guys want to clap, this is the time.